I was reading from it. It was there. Come on. Okay. So we say Hineni Muchana for women, Umzumanat. In the prayer book, it normally says Hineni Muchan, Umzuman. You probably recognize that from other places, particularly from the Kiddush, the Friday night Kiddush, Hineni Muchan, Umzuman, Hineni Muchan, Umzuman. So here's the feminine form, Hineni Muchana, Umzumanat. Okay. You know, I as much as I'd like to, we don't even say this part out loud in Hebrew at my synagogue. So maybe we should just, why don't we just know that it's there, that there's this meditation that we say, and we know what it's about, and let's go to the blessing. It's silly, not silly, but it's not the best use of our time to practice something that we're most likely not going to be using. So let's start with, and again, almost always, especially in the Sidurim that we use, it's going to be in the masculine form, Baruch Atah Adonai. But just know that there are people who have, made this, or converted it, or I don't know what the word is, but rendered it in the feminine form, right? Brucha at ya Eloteinu. I don't know why it's not Eloheinu. Eloteinu ruach haolam. I'm looking for when it changes to the same thing. Asher kidshatnu. Oh, they really changed the whole thing. Bim savuta. This is interesting. Vitzivatnu. Anyhow, let's be good and do the masculine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kitchanu b'mitzvotav vitzivanu al sifirat haomer, who commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. So let's start with Fran. If you want to just read the actual blessing in the masculine form. Baruch atah Adonai.
Fran, you're muted.
Hello.
Fran, are you there?
I'm here. I was muted. I'll read it again.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav vitzivanu al sfirat haomer.
Okay, good. And then for each day, for each of the 49 days, we say a specific line, and all it is doing, it's a wonderful way to learn the numbers, I have to say. And it's saying today is the blank day of the Omer, which is, and it tells you how many, once you get into, past the first week, which is blank weeks, and how many days of the Omer. So for example, today, it's Hayom, or today, Shneim Asar, which is 12, Yom, Shehem Shavua Echad, of the first
Week.
1 week, V'chamisha Yamim, and 5 days. So 1 week and 5 days, so 7 and 5 equals 12, right? So it's just a nice, it's a nice way to prepare for receiving the Torah, the 10 Commandments. you know, between Pesach and Shavuot. If you're
Barbara?
an All-Star, you know, if you like that kind of thing, it really is, it's very, very nice.
Does
And
the
I, you know, and
word-
I
does
don't
the-
get hung up in, you know, of course, there are all kinds of rules around it that if you forget to say it, like you have until technically, I think tonight before sundown, you technically could still say the one for today. But if you forgot to say it by a certain time, and I don't know what the time is, then you can't say the blessing for today. You just say the line. And then if you completely forget a day, they allow you to keep counting, but you're not allowed to say the blessing for the whole remaining time of the counting of the Omer. I don't personally get hung up in, you know, in rules like that. And if I forget a day, well, I read that one and then I pick up with the next one, and I, you know, and I'm not afraid to say the blessing, you know, but so depending
Barbara?
on how you approach things. Yeah, someone's trying to say something and I'll shut up. Go ahead.
I hate to sound so ignorant. Can you explain to me what the counting of the Omar is?
So I can, but I'm gonna have to, I don't want to just make it up off the top of my head. I have a concept in my head. Let me just see if it's in the book I brought with me. It's in Jewish, let's see if this answers the question. In Jewish tradition, the counting of the Omer represents a period in ancient days when the people would travel to Jerusalem to make offerings from their spring harvest. 7 weeks after the first day of Passover, they would bring a grain offering to the temple. Later on, after the destruction of the temple, people came to observe the end of the 7 weeks as the ritual anniversary of receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai. These agricultural and communal origins of the Omer make it an excellent opportunity for considering our relationship to each other, to the earth that sustains us, and to the source of all life that blesses our own lives each day. So it was mandated. I mean, it's in the Torah that we're supposed to bring an offering of grain every day to the temple. If that, does that help you in at least in the most
I just
basic?
didn't have a clue.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm sorry. That's in the most basic. I mean, there's much more, and I'll, you know, obviously now that you've asked, I will send it my follow-up note. But I don't want to go, you know, taking out my chumash and making, you know, taking away too much time from the class. But yeah, it's in Parshat Emor, which is we're going to be reading it on March 14th, I believe. On May 14th, Parshat Emor has the part about the Omer. And I will definitely do more with that. I'm sorry if I assume more, you know, more acquaintance with it than we have. So anyhow, I just didn't want to let the whole period of the Omer go by without at least showing you the blessing and explaining, in case, as I said, you go to services or you're someplace where people are counting the Omer. I wanted you to have some familiarity with it and to know that every day we say a different, you know, a different day of it, and today is day 12. So so while I am still on this sheet that I made, let's practice. Let's read Hatikva.
Can we sing it?
We can, but let's first make sure everybody knows how to pronounce the words, because I think it might be one of the instances where, you know, we've been singing it, you know, for many years, but we're gonna have aha moments like, oh, I didn't, you know. So let's just try it. We don't have to spend a lot of time. Pixie, do you want to read the first paragraph?
Okay. Kol od ba leva panima nefesh Yehudi Homia, Ulpaate Mizra Kadima, Ayin Litzion Sofia.
Good. And let's see, Audrey, you want to just read the second part?
Od lo abda tikvatenu, vatikva, vatit, sorry,
Hatikva, Hatikva.
hatikva bat shinot hapaim. Lihio, oh, I got this all. Lihiot am hafshi biartzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Good. Okay. Sarah, do you want to read the first line, the first paragraph?
Kol od. Oh, well, let me get back up there. Kol od baleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfa ate mizra kadima ayin Letzion Sofia.
Good. Okay, Iris, the second.
Okay, it's going to be hard not to sing it. Odlo avda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot alpaim, lehiot am chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Good, thank you. And then Amy Schoenhout the first and Amy Schulman the second, and then we'll sing it, I promise.
Kol od balvav
Ballet Vav.
balevav panima nefesh Yehudi Hamiya Ulpaate Pualfate.
Ulfa, it is a fa, not a pa, just.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ulfaate Mitzra Kadima Ayin Letzion Sofia.
So Sophia.
Oh,
Yeah, the dots on top, yeah,
Sophia.
Sophia. Yeah.
Sophia.
Okay, you want to do the last one too?
Od Od lo avda tikvatenu hatikya
What is the what is this?
Hatikva
Good.
Hatikva bat shnot alpaim lihayot am hafshi ba'artzenu Eretz Zion v'Yushalayim.
V'Yerushalayim. Yeah, don't forget the R. V'Yerushalayim. Okay, and Amy Schulman, just read the whole thing.
Sure. Kol od baleva kinima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfaate mizrach kadima ayin Letzion Sofia od lo avda tikvatenu hatikva bat shnot alpayim lihiot am hafshi ba'artzenu Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Good, and we can't really tell from here, but it is Chovshi.
Yeah, Hofshi.
Yeah. Okay, So Iris, would you like to translate it for us? So I have a translation up, but be easier if you just tell us. So
I can't, I mean, I know most of the words, but I can't actually.
okay, I
Kol
can,
would be everyone in their heart. I don't know what Pnima means in the middle, but it's
or
different in
means
this
it's
kind of
different.
language.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fine. I just thought you, I think of you as knowing everything.
I don't know everything, I know a lot.
All
But
right,
this
let me,
song, I have never sung this song without a lump in my throat
yeah,
and emotion. No matter when I sing it, I feel immense emotion as
yeah,
from the Holocaust to people finding freedom and a home in Israel. And it's just, and it's also with that, I feel with everything that's happening, we all know that we have another home to go to if anything happens here. We
yeah,
have another place. So to me, it's like the most important thing in the world.
yeah. Thank you. So here is, and I apologize to those who like to see it lined up exactly with every word, but for now, this is what I can show you. As long as the Jewish spirit is yearning,
Barbara, you're showing us the Omer again.
I am?
Yes.
That's not what I'm looking at. Isn't that funny? I'm looking at what I wanted to be looking at. Okay, share screen. Wow. Oh, well, here it is. It's here. Can you see it now? As long as the Jewish
Yes.
spirit
Yes.
is yearning
Yes.
deep in the heart? Oh, good.
Yeah.
With eyes turned toward the east, Mizrach, looking toward Zion, then our hope, the 2,000-year-old hope, that's the Alpaim, will not be lost. To a free people, so Hofshi is free, the land of Zion and Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
I have a question. Was this song written before Israel became a nation in 1948?
I'm fairly sure. Let's see. Yes, the words to Israel's national anthem were written in 1886 by Naftali Hertz Imber, an English poet originally from Bohemia. The melody was written by Samuel Cohen, an immigrant from Moldavia. Cohen actually based the melody on a musical theme found in Bedrich Smetana's Moldau. So luckily, that was right here on my page. Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't use this because it's very blurry. Is the Hebrew blurry to you, or is it just?
No, it's fine.
Oh, I could have just brought this up and we would have had everything on one page, but it's very blurry to me. I don't know why. Okay, so that's Hatikva. So Iris, would you like to sing?
Sure.
I mean, everyone can sing, but
I hope nobody
sometimes it's
hates my
awkward.
singing, but I'll sing it. Can we
Please.
see the words again? Can you just bring them up?
Can you read this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Kol od balev apnima. I'm gonna cry. Nefesh Yehudi homia ufatai mizrak dima ein letzion Sofia od lo Hatikvatenu Hatikva batnat alpaim liat am chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
Leo Ham Hofshi.
It's Artzenu
Eretz Zion.
Yerushalayim.
Good, thank you. Very nice. As I said, I was going to show you the tape from yesterday's ceremony, but that's probably
Oh,
not the
I'd
best
love
use
to
of our
see
time.
it.
Let me see if I think this is it, and I think I have it wound to where it starts. So let's see.
I can cry again.
Oh, it was about to say. There we go.
משמר
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sion, Sofia.
This is Bennett, I'm pretty sure. She was one of the women who spoke.
Sion.
Oh,
Sion.
משמר יחטיף ונשקו. יחטף שק. משמר יציג ונשקו.
okay, so that was, the whole ceremony, as I said, is, if you have the time and the interest, it's worth it. You could see how beautiful it was. Okay, so let us now spend the next half on the prayer for Israel, prayer for the state of Israel. I don't know if some of you already know it or not, but it's important to know. And next week is, well, actually on our class, I think it's Yom Ha'atzmaut. I'm pretty sure next Thursday. Yeah, so we'll be all
Yes.
ready for Yom Ha'atzmaut. Okay, so now I have to remember, so that I have to go into the prayer book that I am also had open, at least before the class started, but I'm not seeing it now. Let's see. Rabbinical Assembly. Can you see Tefillah? Did it come up? Tefillah Lishlom Medinat Yisrael? No?
Oh,
Nope.
Yes or no?
no.
No. So now, maybe if I go back to,
All we see is you.
okay. So I'm not at screen share yet. Wow, screen share. So now you're gonna see, you're not gonna see what I want you to see either. I pressed screen share and I went back to here. Now? No?
Nope.
No.
What am I doing differently than I did before? So I have that open. I have what I want open. And now I'm in, I want to close that and I'm going to go to screen share. Oh, gosh.
You selected
Why does it only work sometimes? Now?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
okay.
know why it works sometimes and not other times.
Good.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Sorry, someone saying something? Okay. Let us start with Fran.
Okay.
Oh, I can read it first, just in case anyone would like. So, Avinu Sheba Shamayim Tzor Yisrael V'go Alo Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Simichat Geulatenu. Hagen Aleha be'avrat chasdecha, ufros Aleha sukat shlomecha, ushlach orecha va'amitecha lirasheha, sareha v'yoatseha, v'taknem be'etza tova milfanecha, chazek et yedei mignei eretz kodshenu, v'hanchilem Eloheinu Yeshua, va'ateret nitzachon te'atrem, v'natata shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam liyoshveha, v'nomar amen. So because we're using this Lev Shalem, it's very clear, you know, if you're interested when to pronounce the shvaz, particularly like in the middle of a word when it might not be so clear. So this is V'atirem, Te'atirem. I don't know anyone who says Te'atirem. You know, usually people say Te'atrem. So, but I'm just showing you, you know, when it has the larger dots underneath, you know, it's suggesting that you can pronounce that those shvaz, v'takinem. So what else can I show you? The other thing is to pay attention to when it's sh and when it's sa, because
Yeah, that's,
it switches around, you know, surprises you. So just pay attention to which side the dot is on. Okay, Fran, go ahead. Avinu Shabbat Shemayim. Go ahead.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim, Sur Yisrael, V'goalo, Borech et Madinat Yisrael, Reshit Smichat Geulatenu, Hagen Halecha,
There's no H. Aleha.
Alecha, Ba'uvrat,
The Evrat.
oh, sorry, Be'et Evrat Hastecha, Ufros Aleinu, Aleha, Sukat Shalomecha, Uslach.
What is it? Ooh.
I can't get the
Ush.
La.
Ushlach. I just wanted to make sure you saw which side the dot was on. That's all.
Ushlach, is that right?
Good.
Yeah. Orecha. I think. Vaham techa. Vahami techa.
Okay, but just look again because there's no hey here either. It's just va'a.
Vahami techa. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's switch to let's see, to Audrey. Or yeah.
Okay, we are
Here. Lira Sheha.
Oh, Lirashecha, Shirecha, V'yot Atsecha.
Wait, what is this? What is this one?
Sarecha,
Yeah.
V'yot Atsecha,
Good.
V'taknem Be'etzab Tova Milfanecha. Hadzik et Yedei Miginei Eretz Kadeshenu. V'hanchilenu Eloheinu.
Wait,
Yeshu-
V'hanchilem.
Hanchilein Eloheinu Yeshua. V'ateret
Wait, what is this one?
Yeshua.
Good.
Va'ateret nitzachon te'at reim.
Okay,
not-
let's switch back. Let's switch to Pixie. Want to do the last line and then start at the beginning again.
Venatata shal. Oh wait, yeah. Venatata shalom be'eretz yashim. I'm sorry. Yasimchat olam leyoshvecha ve'neemar amen.
Vinomar.
Vinomar.
Vinomar. I mean,
Vinomar.
and this is, it's not a big deal, but it's
Ba'aretz.
Ba'aretz, not Be'eretz, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, now if you want to start at the top. Avinu.
Okay. Avinu Shabashamayim, Sur Yisrael, Vago Alo, Marech et Medina Yisrael,
Medinat.
Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Samichat Gu Alenu, Gu Latenu, Hatan Olam, the
What, no, did you skip
Hatan
over?
Alech.
No, what is
uh,
this one?
Hagain,
Yeah,
yeah, it just went blurry. Hagain Alecha. Okay. Be'evrat Hastecha Ufrosh Alecha
wait,
Sukkot
what is this one?
Ufros
Yeah.
Ufros Alecha Sukkot Shlomecha Ush. It keeps going blurry and not blurry. Ushlach Orcha the Mitcha Lara Shecha Sharecha the Yo Sarecha. That's
Yeah. Sorry.
Sarecha. Yeah, that's the people who. Okay, Sarecha the Yo Tsecha the Tachnem but Eitza Tova Milfanecha.
Okay, let's let Sarah, do you want to pick up at Chazek?
Okay. Hazek et yo yade migine eretz kadshenu v'hanechem v'hanechelehem
The Hanchilem.
v'hanechlem
The Hanchilem.
v'hanichlem
The Hanchi Lem.
v'hanichlem
The Hanchi, okay, go ahead.
Okay, I
Eloheinu.
thought I said that, but okay. Eloheinu, Yeshua, v'atiret,
Teret.
Nitzachon, Tiataram, Vihaterem, Reim, right?
Reim.
Okay. Vinatata, Shalom, Ba'eretz,
Ba'aretz.
Vesimchat Olam, Liosh Shebeya,
Veha. Leosh Veha.
Oh, it's right. Doesn't have a dot in it. Velosh Veha, Venomar, Amen.
Okay, good. Amy Schoenhout, do you want to start at the top and I'll cut you off somewhere in the middle? Okay.
Okay. Avinu Shabashamayim Sur Yisrael v'go'ali
What is the vowel?
v'go'alo
Okay.
barech et Medina
Medina.
Yisrael.
Yeah, don't forget the T.
Oh,
Medina.
Medinat. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's the word for state is Medina, but when it's combined with Israel, it gets a T. It's they call it the construct form when you're connecting two nouns. Anyhow, Medinat Yisrael. Okay, go ahead.
Reshit Samichat Geulatenu Hagen Alecha Be'evrat Hasdecha Ufros Alecha Suvat.
This is it's not a.
Oh, Suchat. Shalomecha Ushlach Orecha V'amitacha.
Good. Okay, Amy Schulman, you want to read the last part?
Yes, starting with
L'Rasheha?
L'Rashecha, Sarecha, V'oatsecha,
Don't forget the Yud.
V'yoatsecha,
Okay.
V'takneim, V'etza, Tova, Milfanecha. Chazek et Yadei, Megine, Eretz, Kadshenu, Bahan Hilem, Eloheinu, Yeshua, Ba'ateret, Nitzichon, Ta'at Reim,
Mhm.
Vanatata, Shalom, Ba'aretz, V'simchat Olam, V'yoshvecha, V'nomar Amen.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
I have a little question. It says, there's a tzaddik with like a dot on it. Nitzachon. And there's like a dot in the tzaddik, but there's a vowel under it at the same time. It's in the second line to the last, in the middle.
Nitzachon. Yeah, that I don't think that has no function in today's world. It's like the dot in this lamed here, milfanecha. It's just a holdover. It has no, or in this nun here, this dot in the nun. In our world, it doesn't have any, it doesn't have any, that's not telling us anything. I guess, 1,000 years ago, it might have meant something, but yeah.
What is the word in parentheses for?
The shtei. Yeah, I
Shetela.
looked that up before. It says here that it may be. I don't know. Some editor or someone decided it was unnecessary, so they took it out. I don't know. So this is the translation. Stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel, bless the state of Israel, the beginning of our redemption. Oh, now we see why, because that it may be the beginning, because it's come into, because the state has actually come into being since this was originally written. I guess that must be why. In the past, they were asking for it. Yeah. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown our efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say amen. Fran, would you be willing to sing at least part of it, or?
I know part of it. We
Yeah.
sing this every Shabbos
Mhm.
before we do the blessing for the wine and everything. And we sing Hatikva every Shabbos before our service ends.
Nice, okay.
Avinu, Avinu, Shabbat Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo. Avinu, Avinu, Shabbat Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo. Now I can't sing the rest of it, I don't think. Borechet Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Simcha v'gula. Gula Tenu. I really don't know the rest, just believe me.
Yeah, I only know the first line. Does someone else here know more than the first line?
Didn't know it had music.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
The melody.
The melody, but I also have only learned the first line, and Fran sings it much more beautifully than I do. So thank you. I can, we can look for that if we're, if someone's interested.
If you look on the right side, there's an answer to your stop. You see on the right side, it says that I may be shetach.
Oh, here, this Israel was added by the Chief Rabbi of England, Emmanuel Jakobovich, turning the phrase, the beginning of the redemption, into an expression of hope rather than a statement of fact. Okay. So he added it, but then, as I say, they decided to take it out, apparently. Yeah. Okay. So this was, many prayers were circulated for the well-being. This one was composed by Israel's chief rabbis and was then slightly edited by the writer.
So adding on here.
Okay. So that was what I had planned for today, because I thought it would take us longer. I didn't realize you were going to be so good at reading the prayer for Israel. I've heard other people have a lot of trouble with it, and I thought it was going to take us longer. So let us see what, actually Ashrei comes somewhere right after it.
Mhm.
Have we done, we did the prayer for Rosh Chodesh, right? Yehi ratzon mefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'lehavotenu shet chadesh aleinu. I think we did it, but let's do it again, because it does come up every month. We say we announce that Rosh Chodesh is coming during the week, after our Shabbat service. So even though we are not at a Rosh Chodesh week, I don't see it. Actually, you know what? We will be saying it on Saturday, because Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday and Monday. Look at that. Okay. So let's read Yehi Ratzon Milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu Shet Chadesh Aleinu Et HaChodesh Haba V'Tova V'Liv Racha V'Titen Lanu Chayim Aruchim. This is give us a long life. Chayim Shel Shalom, a life of peace. Shalom Shel Tova, a good life. Chayim Shel Bracha, a life of blessings. Chayim Shel Parnasah, that's success or good fortune. Chayim Shel Chilutz Atzamot, I think that is free from
Vitality.
No, it's physical.
Physical
It's
vitality.
physical being strong.
Oh yeah, atzamot, isn't that bones? Maybe like strong bones, maybe?
Mhm.
Okay. Chayim shayesh bahem yirat shamayim v'yirat chet. So a life conscious of heaven's demands and wary of sin. Chet is sin, we know it's chet, chet. Chayim she'ein bahem busha uchlima. I think that's like embarrassment, shame, free of shame and reproach. Chayim shel osher b'chavod, abundance and kavod is honor. Chaim shetehevanu ahavat Torah v'yirat shamayim, a life of love of Torah, conscious of heaven's demands. Chaim sheyimalu mish alot libenu litova amen Salah, a life in which the worthy desires of our hearts are fulfilled. Okay, so let us start with Iris. Do you want to read Yehi Ratzon from the top?
Yehi Ratzon milfanecha. Is that Adonai or
Yes, Adonai.
How do I ever not remember that? Okay, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu shetech des Aleinu et ha-chodesh haba.
Okay,
Letova v'livracha.
okay, Pixie Vatiten.
Vatitem lanu hayim aruchim, hayim shel shalom, hayim shel tova, hayim shel bracha, hayim shel parnasa, hayim shel hilutz atzamot, hayim shel yesh bachem yirat shamayim v'yirat hate.
Okay, Audrey, do you want to continue?
Sure.
Chaim She'ein, yeah.
Hayim she'en bachem hushav uklima. Hayim shel shar v'kavod. Hayim shetehei banu v'ahavat Torat v'yirat shamayim. Hayim shayim shimalu mish'alot lebenu letova amen Salah.
Okay, thank you. Let's go through it a few more times. So Sarah, if you want to read the first 4 lines, Yehi.
Yehi Ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu Eloha
Velohei.
Elohei Elohei Avotenu. Shite Chadesh Shite Chadesh Aleinu et HaChodesh Avecha. Haba. Et HaChodesh Haba. Letova ulivarecha.
Okay, Iris, do you want to start with Vatiten?
Sure. Where's Latitem?
Vatiten, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, where's Latitem? Okay. V'titen lanu chaim aruchim, chaim shel shalom, chaim shel tova, chaim shel bracha, chaim shel parnasa, chaim shel chilutz atzamot.
Okay, Amy Schoenhardt, Chaim sheyesh bahem. Yeah. Are you here,
Muted.
Amy?
I'm sorry, forgot to unmute. Okay, Chaim sheyesh bahem yirat shamayim vayirat. No?
Yeah, Virat.
Oh, okay, het
Uh-huh.
hayom she'ein bahem busha lima hayim shel Osher, Vichabod,
Mhm.
Haim, Shethe, Banu, At Hava, Torah.
Ahavat.
Oh, At
It's the same thing here because you're combining two nouns, love and Torah. Yeah, go ahead.
Ahavat, Torah, V'dish. No, I had that before. V'irat
V'yirat,
Shamayim, Hayim, Sheyimalu, Sheyimalu,
Don't forget the yud. Sheyim.
Sheyimalu, Mishalot, Libanu, Libenu, Latova, Omein, Selah.
Okay, good. And I think we have time. If Amy Schulman, if you want to read as much as you want from the top.
Sure. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu shet chadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba l'tova v'livracha v'titen lanu chayim arukim chayim shel shalom chayim shel tova chayim shel bracha chayim shel parnasa chayim shel kilutz atzamot chayim sheyesh bahem yiraat shamayim v'yirat chet. Oh, should I stop?
You can just finish up. It's the last. We don't have time for much else. So
Okay. Chayim she'ein bahem busha uchlima chayim shel oser b'chavod.
it's Osher.
Osher, thank you. Osher v'chavod. Chayim she'teim vanu ahavat Torah v'yirat shamayim. Chayim she'yim lu mishalot libenu l'tova. Amen. Salah.
Good. Thank you. So I wanted to go back and see, is this shetehe, is that the same word that we were looking at a minute ago? It might not be, but I want to see, I'm curious now. The word that we were wondering why it was taken out or put in, or is that shetehe?
No,
it
it's
is
right there.
shetehe. It's the same
Shetehe.
word. It's the same word. We came across it yet again. That's funny, right? That's how life is, though, right? Once you become aware of something, you see it like all day long, right? So, okay. So,
Barbara?
yeah.
This might seem very like elementary, but Amen Salah. I see Salah a lot, and it's funny. I was looking at it last Shabbat, and it's transliterated as Salah. It's translated as Salah, and there's no translation. What is?
I know. I asked a couple of months ago. I asked a rabbi that, and if I remember, they said it was just like for emphasis. Like it. I don't think anyone has a good translation for it. You just use it when you mean like really, really, like a main Salah, like please. That was the best answer I got. So
I
that's the best answer
I had spoken to a couple people who were musicologists in Hebrew,
Yes.
and they said it used to be a part of, in temple times, or maybe not that ancient, but it was a musical thing, that it was sort of the end of something, and it doesn't have a meaning at all. It just was, if you read music, there's like a coda or a, just various things, and it's just a notation of something at the end.
Okay, thanks. So at
Doesn't
least
have
it's
any meaning.
consistent. It's consistent that nobody knows is how I interpret.
Yeah, but it's just ancient, and it was just a notation. It didn't have any.
Yeah.
I
no,
also read, going back to Hatikva, that Theodore Herzl did not like it. The author of Hatikva was sort of a hippie, bohemian, whatever type, and he thought that he was not a fitting person to write something like a national anthem. So he objected to that, and some other people objected to the fact that it sounded a little like a Czech melody, and they didn't want that either. But most people liked it very much, so it was adopted.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there were other things considered. I can't remember what I read a long time ago, but yeah. Okay, any other questions or comments? Or I always end up learning when I'm teaching, which is wonderful.
You,
So we've already done quite a bit that we would have done for Yom HaAtzmaut. I think there's probably more we could, another song or two we could do if you're interested. And I still, as I say every time, I want to catch up with the Friday night, the regular Friday night Shabbat service that is in the official curriculum, so we can do some of that. Amy, are you raising your hand? Oh no, I thought you were trying to say something. Okay.
I was nodding along to the Friday night idea.
Oh, okay, good. Sometimes I feel like people say, oh, I already know all that, but maybe not. Or maybe it's fun to do something that's really familiar from when we were 8 years old. It feels good to know something. So we'll do that next week. And I will send a little bit more about the Omer, counting of the Omer, which I'm actually working on for something else. So it's not even extra work for me. It's actually easy. I have the sources open in the other room. So it just took, well, I'll probably have to take pictures and send it that way because it's.
Barbara,
Yeah.
my great-granddaughter, who's 5 years old in senior kindergarten, has learned to say the Omer every night before she says the Shema, and you cannot, she won't miss a day, believe me.